I'm heading out to go garage sailing. It's like 7:30 in the morning, and I don't know. The sky looks pretty shitty. It's really hard to explain what it actually looks like out right now. It's almost like purple. But yeah, high hopes for the sales today. Even in the rain, right from this garage sale right there, I just picked up some GameCube games and a GameCube controller. You can see we got Mario Party 4, Harvest Moon, Mario Golf, Mario Kart, and Animal Crossing, and an orange controller. Games were marked for $3 each. They had a system, they wanted $20 for it. I asked if they would do $15 for the stack of games and just one controller. It sort of like took 50 cents off of each game, I guess, is the way I put it to them. So I got something in the rain. I just left a sale that was one of only two I saw posted online that were supposed to have games. They were supposed to have Wii and N64 games. I get there, the guy says a woman came at 7:45 in the pouring rain and bought all the N64 stuff. All the Wii stuff they had was all junk. So I asked, well, what did you have for the N64? Kind of hoping, he'd be like, oh, some sports games and blah, blah, blah. He didn't even remember what he had. So I couldn't get any satisfaction of knowing there was nothing good, but I wouldn't have been able to make it to that sale anyway at 7:45. I didn't leave my house until 7:30, and that sale was at least 15-20 minutes away, so I would have probably got there as that woman was buying the shit and then been mad. And also I would have missed those GameCube games most likely, so it worked out, I guess. Now I'm trying to go to that one other sale that I saw that was supposed to have games, and hopefully it's still open and they didn't close because of the rain. All right, looks pretty good out. Looks like the weather cleared up. Awesome. I want to mention this before I forget. This past week I uploaded a new episode of Video Game Sellers. It's episode 52. It's been over a couple months since I've done one, so a lot of people might not know there's a new one up. Go check it out if you haven't. It's pretty funny. This weekend, though, I will not be making it out to the flea market to film an episode or to sell or anything, because I'll be going to a wedding on Sunday. Next weekend, though, I will be out there, so there will be a new episode, I guess, in about a week and a half from now. But right now, my battery's about to die. I'm going to go to a few more sales, and give this video a thumbs up for me garage sailing in this miserable weather, though. Make me feel a little better. Well, my battery died on my iPod, so I wasn't able to get much footage out there. But I really haven't been filming a lot while I've been actually driving around the past few times I've gone garage sailing. I just sort of find it takes up too much time, and I'd rather spend that time actually trying to get to the next sale so I don't miss out on anything. But I figured since it was really nasty weather and sort of weird circumstances, I wanted to try to film a little bit while I was out driving around. I didn't manage to pick up a few more things. The first pickup you saw was of the stack of GameCube games. Now, when I left the house this morning, like I mentioned, there were two garage sales that I wanted to try to make it to that were supposed to have games. But as I was leaving the neighborhood, it started pouring down rain. I started seeing like signs for neighborhood sales that were really like close by to where I live. So I was trying to figure out, well, what the hell do I want to do? Do I want to chance it in the rain and head all the way out to these sales that are supposed to have games, or do I want to stay here? And I ended up sort of doing a U-turn, going back to the neighborhood that was having the community sale right down the road from my house, which I'm glad I did, because I did get the GameCube games, just to go over, like, the condition stuff that these are in. A complete copy of Mario Party 4, case and game only for Animal Crossing, complete copy of Mario Kart Double Dash, complete copy of Mario Golf Toadstool Tour, and a case and game for Harvest Moon Magical Melody. These were all marked $3 a piece, and like I said, I sort of didn't really know how to bundle it in the sense of, I didn't want to buy the system, I just wanted the orange controller. But $3 was a good price for the game, so I basically just was sort of like, can I get the controller for free, but not really asking it that way. So I was like, hey, can I get these all for 15 bucks? Basically maybe take, like 50 cents off each game or something like that. And the guy was like, yeah, sure. So technically I bought the games for the price they were listed and got the controller for free. Then after that, I hit up a sale. Really, close by to that one, maybe like right around the corner, because where this community sale was, basically 2 roads that go off in either direction, and then tons and tons of dead ends. So I kind of, chose to take the long drive down one and hope, I didn't screw up and, miss all the good stuff on the other end. But right around the corner from that house was a house that had a pink DS Lite. And I'm like, okay, I always find the fucking pink Nintendo systems and always seem to find DS Lites. And there was a copy of New Super Mario Bros. In it. So I pick it up, and I guess I made the mistake, but how would I have ever known this? But I said, hey, do you have any more games, either for this system or just different types of video games? And there was like a mom, a dad, a little girl, and the little girl kind of looks at me and makes a face, and the mom's like, oh, we don't have any other games, and she's like, I don't want to sell that. The little girl said that, and the mom's like, oh, really, you don't? And I was like, oh, wait, no, it's out. You're selling it. I have it in my hands. And I basically had to hand it back to the girl, and I asked her if she would sell just Mario, and she said no. So then I kind of gave up, at that sale because it was raining. I just wanted to move on. I didn't bother, them anymore. I didn't bug them about, oh, well, is there any other games you maybe don't play? Drove around the block, drove down the dead end, basically, of their street. Came back and stuck my head out the window, and I was like, I gotta ask, is there any games that you're not playing on that system? She went inside, and she came out with a cart-only copy of Pokemon Pearl, and a complete copy of Pokemon Black 2, with the manual and everything in there. And I believe last week this was complete opposite of what I ended up getting. I got a complete copy of Pokemon Pearl and a cart-only copy of Pokemon Black 2. So that was $10, $5 a game, which, great price, obviously, but she seemed pretty solid. Like, this little 10-year-old girl was pretty solid on what she wanted for her stuff. And then I offered $20 for the DS Lite, and she straight up said no. Like, I'm not selling that at all. There's no way you're getting that. So after that, there really wasn't any other big scores in that neighborhood. I drove out to try to find those video games at the sales that were posted online. No luck. Went to a bunch of other sales that were either half set up or completely tarped over. They threw tarps over it because of the rain, and they weren't even outside. I drove, a decent amount of St. Pete. That's where I live. I drove a decent amount of the city. Came back to the neighborhood sale because I had left my telephone number with some people that said they thought they had a PS2 and some games stashed away underneath a few boxes. They wouldn't look for them while I was there, which was a little frustrating, but she said she'd take my number and call me. I pretty much had, written it off, and about, I'd say, an hour after I had been there, she called, said, well, we found the games. I'm going to keep the PS2 right now. I'm like, God damn, I'm just not having luck in the sense of people saying, yeah, I'll put an item out and sell it, and then they kind of change their mind. But she goes, so I'm not going to sell the PS2 after all, but I will sell you the games. And I said, well, you know what, can you just list me the games over the phone? Because she said she only had like 7. And there was a few that I was interested in, so I went over back to that neighborhood and picked up a copy of Beyond Good and Evil, Kingdom Hearts. We got that Shaman King, and We Love Katamari, and then one more. Where the hell did it go? Oh, it's underneath. And Disaster Report. All these were $2 a piece, and then also for $2 I picked up the strategy guide for Kingdom Hearts. Now, out of all these, the one I was actually most excited for was Disaster Report. It's not an expensive game at all. I mean, you can get a copy for right around $10. I think you could pick up sealed ones online for around $20 or so. But it's definitely not a common one. I can only say that maybe I've only seen this game one other time. And this is in really nice shape. All these PS2 games that I got from them were really nice condition, all complete. So I was, interested in picking this up for my collection. But it's not a great game. It's a disaster simulation, I guess the best way to put it. It's a little bit of like an action adventure. You can find items in the game and use them to make different things to help you through surviving the city. You meet up with other characters, and if you decide to help them out, obviously it should help the story progress a little easier, or you can apparently be dicks to them. and choose to like make fun of them or whatever. But so yeah, I've been wanting to kind of check this game out for a long time, but I never was gonna like order it off of eBay for $15, $10. So yeah, if you like weird, interesting games, Age Tech put this out, and it is called Disaster Report. So check that out. After that, basically, this neighborhood, even in the rain, I was surprised that quite a few of the people still had their sales going on. A lot of them had moved them into their garages. It was a really high-class neighborhood, so a lot of these houses were huge, and they had huge-ass driveways and huge garages, so they were able to, you know, quickly accommodate their 4-car garage into a nice big sales room. But the only other thing I picked up... Oh, wait. For 25 cents, I got a PS3 charge controller cable at the same place I got those PS2 games. The only other game I picked up at a garage sale was Super Mario Galaxy 2 on the Wii. They had a stack of Wii games. I had driven by earlier in the morning, asked if they had any video games. They said no. On the second time through, I just was getting out of the car everywhere, basically, because I wasn't having the best of luck, and I figured I'd just poke around, see if there's anything cool. And they had a stack of about 5 or 6 Wii games, and this was the only good one. I think there was a couple sports titles, and one of the Guitar Hero games or something. So I grabbed that. This was $3, I want to say. Pretty sure it was $3. And it was an odd price because I think they were asking $5, but they didn't have change, and I only had 3 singles. So that was the last thing I got at sales. After that, I went to a pawn shop nearby that was doing a 50% off of their video games, movies, I think CDs also, and I ended up picking up a copy of Portal 2 on the PS3 Complete. I think this was $8, and a copy of Left 4 Dead 2, and that was $7 plus the tax or whatever on them. So, you know, decent deals for those. I believe both of these are still like $30 used games at GameStop, so that was a good pickup for those two. And that is it in the sense of finds for the day. I did buy this week my PS4, extra PS4 controller for my system coming out. I have pre-ordered, and I picked up my copy of Killzone Shadowfall as well. So I'm looking forward to that. Only 2 weeks away until PS4 comes out, and I'm going to open my PS4 controller. I just haven't had the need to because I can't play it right now. But that's it. So not as amazing as last week. Last week was one of those rare occasions where I just found a couple sales that I got a ton of stuff at. Very, very system heavy last week. This week, obviously, not a single system pickup, just a bunch of games and a random controller. But I would still say successful. I was only out for 2.5, 3 hours max. Not as bad as the 5.5 hour garage sale day last weekend. Please thumbs up the video again if you don't mind, and I will talk to you all later. Have a wonderful week. Peace.